1.46. The number of accidents are given here, and the frequencies, the number of accidents and frequency is given. That is, accidents are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and total, and frequency is 0. The number of accidents are 0 is 46, 1 is we don't know, and the 2 accidents are we don't know, and the 3 are 25, 4 accidents are 10, and 5 accidents are 5 times. This happened at one of the day in a city. So we have this information. We need to find out the missing frequencies here. The mean is given. The mean is given, or the mean is 1.46. 1.46, and we need to find out the missing frequencies. So let's take the number of accidents. The frequency. The number of accidents we have discussed here that are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. So here the frequency, the number of accidents occur. The 0 time is 46, and the 1 time is we don't know. We need to find out. Let's take this question mark as we need to find out this one and these 2 missing frequencies. Let these 2 missing frequencies as F1 and F2. We have taken 2 missing frequencies as F1 and F2. The first frequency is 46, and the next frequency we don't know. We have taken as F1, and the second is F2. The next one is 25 and 10. The last one is 5. Here we know that earlier we have discussed the number of frequency here. The total number of frequency is called as n or sigma fi. The sum of the frequency is called as sigma fi. It's called fi. You know the frequency is called as fi, and the number which is given here, that is called as class. Class is ungroup data, and then here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we have taken. So this is called as xi, and this is fi, and when we add this all together is called as sum of the frequency sigma fi, or it's also called as n. So let's find out sum of the frequency here. That is, when we add this all the numbers, this is 46 and 25, it is 71 and 81, 81 plus 5, 86, and we got 86. And 86 after, there are 2 missing frequencies, and we need to add this variable separately. So F1 plus F2, and I have taken these 2 frequencies separately. So F1 plus F2 we have added separately. And here, let's recall, we have taken this number of accidents here and the frequency and the number of frequency. The frequency, the sum of the frequency is called as sigma fi, or is equals to n, is also called n, and that is we have added all the constant values that are 46, 25, 10 and 5 together in this 86, and the variables should be added separately. So plus F1 and plus F2. So here, like the next one, we need to find out the missing frequencies, and the mean is given. We know the formula for mean. Mean x bar is equals to sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. So formula direct method mean, and direct method mean is x bar is equals to sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. Here we know that sigma fi is already, we know that is 86 plus f1 plus f2. We need to find out sigma fi xi. Before that, we need to find out fi xi. It's a multiplication symbol between fi xi. So let's find out fi xi. Fi into xi. We need to find out. So fi, we know that this is fi and xi is this one. We need to multiply this both and to get fi xi. So let's multiply this 2. 0 into 46 is 0. And 1 into f1 is variable. It becomes f1 separately. So variable, and 2 into f2 is 2f2. And the next numbers are 3 into 25. 3 into 25 is 75. 4 into 10 is 40. And 5 into 5 is 25. So we got the values after a multiplication of fi xi, that are 0 into 46, 0. 1 into f1, f1. 2 into f2, 2f2. 3 into 25 is 75. 4 into 10 is 40. And 5 into 5 is 25. We have multiplied this both. We got fi xi. We need to find out sigma fi xi. So sigma fi xi is nothing but sum of these all the fi xi. So let's write sigma fi xi. So when we add this all the numbers, we'll be getting sigma fi xi. Sigma is nothing but sum of all the terms of fi xi. So let's add all the numbers here. 75, 25, 100, 100 plus 40, 140. And 140 we got here. The number 140. Plus, and this along with the constant number, and we need to add the variables separately. So f1 plus 2f2. Let's write this f1 plus 2f2. So we understood, we have taken all the constant values, another 140, it became 140 after adding all the three numbers, and then f1 plus 2f2. Let's find out here that that is the sum of the frequency is n. Here we know that the sum of the frequency is given frequency 46, and we don't know this value, and the second is also missing. 25 plus 10 plus 5 all together frequencies 200 is given, that is nothing but n. So let's take it as n is equals to 200. So n is equals to 200 and is also known as sigma fi. We already discussed about it. So sum of the frequency is 200. It's also called as sigma fi. So here we know that the value of n in sigma fi xi, sorry, value of n is equal to sigma fi is 86 plus f1 plus f2 is sigma fi is given that 200, because it's a given problem that is all together is 200. So we have taken 86 plus f1 plus f2 is equal to 200. So let's simplify this part. So f1 plus f2 is equal to 200 minus 86. After we have transposed this 86 to right hand side, it became minus 86. So f1 plus f2 is equal to, after subtraction, we'll be getting 114. And this is, let's take this one as equation 1. Let's recall again here. The sum of the frequency is 86 plus f1 plus f2, but according to here all the frequencies, it's given that its value is 200. So 86 plus f1 plus f2 is equal to 200. So we have taken this minus 86, it became, and after subtraction we'll be getting here 114. So the mean of the following frequency table is 15, but the frequencies of f1 and f2 in the class 20 and 40 and 60 to 80 are missing. Find the missing frequencies. Here class and the frequencies are given. The class is 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80 and 80 to 100 are the class intervals here. The frequencies are here: 17, f1, 32, f2 and 19, and some of the frequencies 120. Here we need to find out the missing frequencies f1 and f2. So let's recall. The class is 0 to 20, 20 to 40, and 40 to 60, and 60 to 80, 80 to 100. These are the classes we have. And then the frequency is 70 F1 and 32 F2 and then 19. Here we need to find out these two class interval and frequencies given. We need to find out the missing frequencies of F1, F2. So we need to find out the mean value. That is, mean is x bar is equals to a plus 1 by n sigma fi ui into h. Using this mean deviation method, we'll find out the missing frequencies of F1 and F2. That is, x bar is equals to a plus 1 by n sigma fi ui into h. Here we know that a is assumed mean. We have discussed in previous class, that is, a is assumed mean and n is sum of the frequency, and fi is, we know the sum of the frequency, that is fi is frequency, and ui xi minus a by h. Xi is the values we need to find out, and then xi minus a is assumed mean divided by h is length of the class interval, and then h is multiplied with h, which is the length of the class interval. So to find out these all the values of this, we need to find out assumed mean. Before that, we need to find out that mean values, that is hy. Mean values, we need to find out, that is xi. So mean values are nothing but, we'll take here the class intervals and the two lower boundary and the upper boundary. We know we have discussed this. This is the first number of the class of a group is called lower boundary, and the next one is upper boundary. We take the average of these two numbers is called as mean value of these two. That is 0 plus 20 divided by 2 is 10. Next one, the mean value of 20 and 40 is 30. The mean value of 40 and 60 is 50. And the mean value of 60 and 80 is 70, and mean value of this 80 and 100 is 90. We got the mean values. So to find out the assumed mean from this, we know that the Fillmore's value of the mean values is called as assumed mean is capital A. So here among these all mean values we have 2 from these two and the last two mean values, and then the mean value of this all the xi values is called as capital A, is called as assumed mean. So we got assumed mean here, and to find out n is called sum of the frequency. Let's find out. And frequency is here. This is the frequency. We need to find out the sum of the frequency. When we add is all the three numbers, we'll be getting 68. We added all the constant values, we got 68, and then variables are present in this, that are f1 and f2. So variables we need to add separately with the constant values, that are f1 plus f2, and this is called as capital N. So capital N is equals to 68 plus f1 plus f2. So we know that the sum of the frequency is equals to 120. So we can take this n is equals to, the n value is equals to 68 plus f1 plus f2. From this, we know that sum of the frequency is given that is 120. When we add all the frequencies, the place of n we can take x 120 is equals to 68 plus f1 plus f2. When we transpose this value, this becomes 120 minus 68 is equals to f1 plus f2. Then we'll be getting 120 minus 68, that is 52, is equals to 51 plus f1 plus f2. Then using the property of commutative property under addition is f1 plus f2 is equals to 52. Let's take this one as equation 1. Let's recall again. Here we have taken all the frequencies, that is called as n sum of frequency. So 17 plus 32 plus 19 is 68, and we have added the variables separately along with this constant value plus f1 plus f2. And we have taken n is equals to the same value 68 plus f1 plus f2. From the question we know that sum of the frequency after adding all the frequencies will be getting 120. So 120 is equals to 68 plus f1 plus f2. After simplification of this all, will be getting f1 plus f2 is equals to 52. So here we got the sigma f1 we got, that is nothing but and value x. Sigma f1 is also known as capital N, that is 68 plus f1 f2, and SU mean is, we know, that is 50, and we need to find out here ui is nothing but so ui we need to find out, that is xi minus capital A by h. ui is equals to xi minus capital A divided by h. So here to find out the ui value without substitution of these all the values xi and minus a divided by h, we have the process of getting the values in front of the assumed mean. Let us take the 0 value. In front of the assumed mean 50, let's take the 0, and we can observe here the class interval is increasing in this order. So after 0 there is an integer, that is 1, after 2, and before 0 that will be minus 1 and minus 2. Let's recall again that in front of 50 we have taken 0, after next number 1 and 2, and before numbers as minus 1 and minus 2. And now we need to find out fi ui. Let's find out fi ui. So fi we got here, that is frequency, is called as fi, and ui is, we got deviation, that is ui. Let's multiply these two numbers, we'll be getting fi ui. So fi is here 70 and ui is minus 2. When we multiply these two numbers, we'll be getting minus 34. And let's multiply this both, f1 into minus 1 is minus f1. The next value is 32 into 0 is 0. The next value, f2 into 1 is f2. So next value, 92 is 38. So we'll be getting 38 here. So after fi ui, we need to find out sigma fi ui, that is nothing but sum of the fi ui. So sigma fi ui is, when we add these all the values of fi ui, 38 and 34, then we'll be getting 4. After simplification of the constant values, 38 minus 34, we got 4, and the next value is f2 plus f1. So this is a sigma fi ui 4 plus f1, 4 plus f2 plus f1. So here, the previously after simplification of sum of the frequency, we got here f1 plus f2 is equal to 52. Let's find out let's find out the missing frequencies using the formula of mean division method. So here we know that the mean x bar is equal to 50. It's given the question. The mean of these values is 50. So x bar is 50. So let's take the place of x bar 50. And A is nothing but SU mean. From the table we know that SU mean is 50. Let's take in the place of A is 50 plus 1 by n. N is nothing but the sum of the frequency. We know that is, instead of 60 plus f1 plus f2 we can take it as 120. So here in the place of n 120. So sigma fi ui, we know that sigma fi ui is nothing but 4 plus f1 f2 plus f1. Then into h is nothing but the length of the class interval, that is 0 to 20. We count these all the numbers, we'll be getting 20. So into 20. Let's write this step again. So 50 is equals to 50 plus 1 by 120